Next time you're in a stall at a B-dubs and you're kind of drunk and you're taking a pee and there's a dude next to you, and you just need to just softly look over at him, because you never look him in the eyes, but just lean over a little bit and go.
You're still touching.
I do not shoot with my hand. I shoot with my mind.
He who shoots with his hand has forgotten the face of his father.
So, by the way, can we have a moment to reflect again?
Ah, yes.
There's a tower that stands in the center of existence, and it keeps the dark demon forces from getting in.
It does.
It's like the protective barrier of Taco Bell. Fucking demons.
Yeah, it's the
coming
border.
into your butt.
Run to it.
If you take Pepto-Bismol, it will prevent the demons coming in. But anyway, it's like, okay, so there's a tower.
Catch them all.
It's keeping the demons out. But there's an attack on the tower. The Man in Black, played by none other than Salesman of the Year, Lincoln Master, Matthew McConaughey, Walter, is trying to bring this fucking thing down. He wants it down, down, baby. Low Street.
Shut up.
He doesn't like it. And
I like it when you say
Roland, the last gunslinger, is trying to kill his ass. Jake comes in. Jake is a seer or a visionary, like he can see things, he's telepathic.
He's got the shine.
What I want to say, the first thing is that I know that there was a lot of reviews that came out that were critical of it, that said that it wasn't pure to the books, it was a poor adaptation of Stephen King's opus, which I will agree with. I think that Stephen King's books and the world that he presented was so phenomenal, it was so amazing and incredibly detailed, that I think that it should have gone the Harry Potter route or the Lord of the Rings route and gone from the beginning and told a gigantic tale that would stretch over the years, and from the beginning. Unfortunately, they didn't do that, but still, as a movie itself, disregarding that, still as a movie, it is a fun movie. It's a popcorn movie, but still, overall it was good. And by the way, the soundtrack's amazing. Like, it's got that, I mean, it's not like the most amazing soundtrack I've ever, it's not Nolan or anything like that, or John Williams. It's nothing like that, but it's got that heroic fucking beat that you just like.
Hans Zimmer is what you meant.
Hans Zimmer, yeah. It's just one of those things that when you walk out of the theater, you're gonna walk out with those trumpets in the background, and be like, I'm the only one that can save humanity, and nobody else, these motherfuckers eating popcorn, no, but I'm the one.
Actually, I didn't notice the score at all until we walked out.
I thought
it had one of the best ever, like, as you're walking out of the theater, badass soundtracks to walk like you're cooler than you actually are to on the way out the door. I watched you. I was like, what a douchehole. And then I did the same thing from behind you, but with a different sway.
That's what she said.
As a newcomer to the theater, I felt like watching the movie, like, I liked it and I enjoyed it for the most part, but I did feel like there should have been like 6 movies before it. I felt like this was just like, when they finally meet up and the big battle scene happens and all this shit goes on, I felt like there just should have been so much more preface to what I was watching, and you can sense that in the movie. But at the same time, dude, what I got from this was, we've been watching a lot of Stephen King adaptations lately. But the thing is that a lot of the problems... Did he die? A lot of the problems with Stephen King adaptations is they take it and they try to really... Sometimes they try to include everything, and then they put it in this TV miniseries, and it's way over long and overly confusing and overly drawn out. I felt like they purposefully went into this and wanted to chop it down as much as possible just to streamline it. They purposely made it 1 hour and 35 minutes, which when you saw that running time, you had to know there's going to be a lot of shit cut out of this. But honestly, dude, for me, most of the movie, I was interested in because Idris Elba was such a good actor. Matthew McConaughey's a great actor too. I didn't have a problem with his performance. I think the way he looked kind of threw it off a little bit, dude, because he just looked like he's, like I said earlier, he looks like he is a tanning bed salesman. There was something about his look and his mannerisms that just didn't fit what he was going for, but I thought he was okay.
You say tanning bed salesman, he just reminded me of that fucking weird kid in high school that just was like, thought he was like superior than everybody else, and you'd be like, hey man, you want to go hang out with us later on, we're throwing a party, like, do you know that when the moon shines bright on the 12th of October, your fucking souls are dead?
One scene in particular that the trailer shows would have been so fucking badass if you had not seen it in the trailer. It would have been fucking amazing. Well, but you saw it in every trailer. They showed this particular scene.
That's, again, it's overselling the movie before it comes out, and that happens a lot to a lot of studios that do that because they're trying to market it and get the asses in the seats. It's kind of like if you see a girl across the bar and you're like, hey, you know what? I'm going to show you a little bit of the package. I'm not going to go to jail, hopefully. Check the dick.
You will.
Zip it. You're going to go to jail. So don't overshow it.
Don't do
that.
But
nonetheless,
does not work.
And you're right, when you watch the movie and you hear these characters interact, there's so much fucking more going on, behind the scenes that you're not aware of, because we didn't start from the beginning, which I think it was a mistake to not start from the beginning. Just do the Gunslinger, the original fucking novel, and do it that way, and then go up.
it is easy to follow. Like honestly, like it's otherworldly and there's crazy batshit cuckoo poopy haha fuck sticks McGregortons going on, but it's a very easy story to follow. Like you know what's happening, you know what the goal is, and you know what's going on. But about halfway through the movie, like I honestly was not that impressed with it, other than what we talked about we liked. Halfway through the movie, there's like a tragic moment, and I count it to Idris Elba's amazing acting. When this tragic moment happens, like
this magic moment,
I went from having no emotional like attachment at all to what was happening on screen to actually caring, and it was because of Idris Elba, because he was really good in the movie. But from that point on, I really enjoyed the movie. Minus Matthew McConaughey's wizardry, it looked kind of cheap a couple times.
Well, I think that this movie made no apologies for what it was trying to do, and that's one thing I did respect about it. Like, it didn't have any apologies for just going balls deep into a 90s kind of flick. Like, you know what I mean? You know, like when you go and watch...
They wanted to be entertaining.
Yeah, it was just a pure entertainment film. Like Mortal Kombat. You know, I'm not comparing it necessarily to Mortal Kombat. When you went and see Mortal Kombat and you play the games, there was some history and lore behind that. Obviously, we can't throw all that on film. They did the best they could with what they had, and I think they did the same thing, and they were going for a pure popcorn entertainment film, and I think they succeeded in that. And I had a good time watching it. Will there be a sequel to it? Yeah, it leaves it open for a sequel, for sure. I'm not going to tell you what happens, you fucking whore, because I know you're guzzling for it, but we can't give you that away.
Weird verb.
I don't care about verbs and adjectives.
Weird verb, the guzzling.
Go take an adverb in your
I'm
butt.
guzzling.
Take an adverb in your butt.
I'm always guzzling on the weekends.
You know what? But still... But anyway, man, we got what we got, and we gotta fucking love it, or take it and take a dump and whatever. But you know what? I think it's unfairly being bashed, and I don't
They
think
didn't take a hot dump on it, basically.
No, it's not bad, man. It's a 7.0 for me, and I had a good time. I think that if you're a fan of the book, you should go see it just because there are references throughout the movie about, you know, what happened in the book, and there are, like, even, I don't know if some people notice this or not, but, when Roland's walking around with his backpack, you see the horn. I can't remember what they called it. The Horn of Gilead, I can't remember. But
a good name for your wiener, kids.
I called it all the time before it was even a book. But the horn is intact, and if you guys remember, you enthusiasts from the books, what happened in the very beginning of The Gunslinger, where it was split in two, and then what happened at the end of The Dark Tower in the books, and it was whole again. That's pretty cool. And like I said, and so there's love moments in it for the fans of the books, but just bringing in people that have never seen it, it definitely succeeds there. So. I like it.
I'm gonna give it a strong 6.5, man. I like certain parts of it. I like the actors in it. For me, I think that this movie is a movie that's a decent movie. It's not a bad movie, but given the subject matter and what it could have been and what it could have meant, it's gonna disappoint a lot of fucking people. Like, even though it's not
the streets gonna take you.
It's gonna be the streets gonna take you. I think it's gonna disappoint a lot of people, but it's just not that terrible of a flick. It's totally watchable. So I don't know.
It could have been worse. It could have been way worse.
For me, it's just like when someone amazing gets cast in a horror movie and then it doesn't turn out to be that great. Like World War Z. Like, for me, Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey, two of the greatest actors in the world right now. That kid ended up being fucking awesome.
He was great.
And I just felt like that.
Even the mom, even like the secondary characters.
I wanted them to have more scenery to chew on. I wanted more between the two of them. I wanted more depth and emotion in it and stuff like that. And I didn't even read the fucking books.
But I thought it was going to be some horror elements in it. Like, you know, actual horror parts to it. Like, where you're going to be really freaked out or scared about something. Because that's what it is.
They broached it. Like, with
they tried.
With a feather tickling a butt. Like, they were just kind of like,
yeah, some guy was right there. Bent over and he was like, that tickles a little bit.
It is a little tickle.
But it doesn't bother my butthole at all. But yeah, I was hoping that there was
going to be real. It's not real.
Either way.
You don't feel it in your bones, in the bones, in the bones, in the Brunson boners, the Brunson boners. What did you guys think about the movie if you saw it? We love your fucking faces, and if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and get some goddamn wham up in you.
You've gone retarded Italian. Fucking bitch. Fuck that.
No.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah. You know what? We did a review. We watched a movie. We watched a movie.